Invisible. I wish this was a story I'd made up. I wish this was a fictional period drama with workhouses on the corner of a street from a darker time in history. But unfortunately it isn't. The year was 2015. This is the reason why we do Xmas presents in York every Christmas Day, to bring people together who would otherwise be alone. One of our guests was referred to us from a neighbour. He was just an old man who they saw in the street, would always smile and say hello. A nice man, but they never asked his name. Nobody knew his name. People didn't know much about him. He bothered nobody. He was even off Age UK's radar. It was as if he didn't exist. He had learning difficulties and looked to have slipped through many a net over the years. He just got on with his life, troubling nobody. He was anxious in the lead up to Christmas and had no phone, so we had to knock on his door. Eventually, we persuaded him to come. Timid is a word often used for small creatures coming out of the darkness. Albert was timid. He answered the door on Christmas morning to be greeted by chaperones in a pick-and-mix suit that any charity shop would have binned before ever reaching a front-of-house hanger. But he wanted to be smart, and that was the best he had. "It's a lovely motor, this. It's like being a king being chauffeured about," he said. Sarah took him under her wing and gave him the best day ever. She was a nurse for people living with dementia and had used her mix of disarming charm, enthusiasm, empathy and being the best listener ever to show him that she was there for him. He danced, he sang, he even had mistletoe above his smiling face on many an occasion as he received kisses from our helpers. That smile never left his face all day. His eyes alight, more befitting a child finding that Santa Claus had been than an 89-year-old. Albert ate his body weight and then some, and couldn't believe the hospitality shown from every corner. The room was filled with joy. Like Cinderella, his ragged suit felt that it had been transformed into the finest that Savile Row could measure him up for. Today, he was Prince Charming. Every table was the top table. His eyes were like saucers as he was handed a hamper and a load of raffle prizes. He couldn't believe his luck. "Are these for me? Surely someone else must need them more than me." As with all fantastic days, it flew by, from the first cuppa and conversation through a medieval banquet of a Christmas dinner as carol singing followed the Queen's speech and the biggest ever game of musical charades, gone in an instant. The time had come for reluctant goodbyes, exhausted but overjoyed. I can't tell you how much this has meant to me. This has been my best Christmas ever. We'd all captured our Christmases past. He never stopped talking in the car home as if it was about to run out of words. The same duo took him back to his flat to see that he was settled in and have a cuppa and a piece of cake with him. By this time, it was dark. His light wasn't working. The bulb long past aglow. The hallway was freezing, somehow colder than outside. Sarah put a torch on her phone to reveal nothing at all. It was empty. No furniture, no TV, no bed, no heating, nothing. Who knows how long he'd lived this way, but nobody saw because nobody had been there and nobody bothered him. He kept himself to himself and never had visitors. This is what he thought he deserved. This was his life. This was his lot. So on Christmas night we made sure we remedied this fast. Our friends at Age UK sorted him out with some furniture and comforts for his flat. All of our team of volunteers donated everything from microwaves to pans, even to light bulbs that lit up. I don't want to tell you, I've never had one, but I'd love a wireless, he said. So we got him one, and BBC Radio York became all he ever listened to, morning, noon and night. Albert was the king of his castle, with a wardrobe full of clothes that fitted him, not from a charity shop, but bought by people. At 89, we sorted him home care and his clothes being washed and dried. He would eat like a king every day. His hollow cheeks filled out to accommodate his smile. Think of the best Christmas present you ever received. An Action Man, Lego, Kaplunk, Scalextric. Albert unwrapped company, conversation, togetherness, a door that opened daily and a life that he deserved for the last 9 months of his life. He passed away that autumn, but we were proud to have given him his last Christmas. So next time you hear somebody whinging about note, remind them what note really is. Nobody should have nobody. Nobody should have nothing. Happy Christmas.